This is DDS. From the DDS studios, we are your hosts, Blake Melton, Bradley Newberry, and from the man cave, it is Matthew, Two-Tone Blue Parker. Parker, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, I am ready to go. I started breaking down a Florida game before I realized there wasn't even the Florida game. So
not this week. Yeah, well, guys, we appreciate you joining us tonight. We're going to be talking a little Titans Stadium update. We got some really big trade news out there, but while we got your attention, go down below there, hit the like and subscribe button for us on YouTube. Give us a rumble on Rumble. Follow us on all of our social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter at DDS Sportstalk. And you can download all the audio versions of these podcasts on your favorite podcasting platform. Newberry, what do we got?
Yeah, I was just innocently watching Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. And all of a sudden, I start getting text from Mr. Parker. I start getting alerts from CBS. I start getting alerts from NFL. Christian McCaffrey has been traded to the San Francisco 49ers. Parker, give us the details.
Man, I know he's the best running back probably in the league. If you're talking reception and running, he's super elusive. And he commanded it. For a running back, people don't think they're much of anything anymore, but they got a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth for Christian McCaffrey to go to one of the best schemed offenses in the league.
Well, so we all know the Rule firing. They fired Rule. Now they're getting rid of McCaffrey. I mean, is this a fire sale? Are they just packing it in? Does this signal that they've given up for the year? I mean, not but a quarter of the way through the season.
It's over. That's what I say.
I would tell you they gave up last year when they traded for Sam Darnold. They gave up this year when they didn't fire Matt Rule after one game. They gave up this year when they traded for Baker Mayfield and when they started P.J. Walker, when they drafted Matt Corral. They gave up. So, yes, they needed to trade McCaffrey, get as many picks as you can to get people in there. They need to move on from DJ Moore probably as well because this team, they just need everything.
Jeez. I didn't quite do the bomb there. He pulled back a little bit there. He pulled back.
It's early.
Hey, but it's a little early for the Parker's power bomb.
They did trade for LaVisca Chenault earlier in the year. That great deal. He played like one half.
He had one amazing play.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, this organization makes some of the strangest moves ever. I mean, bringing back Cam Newton last year. Oh. I mean, this is just one stupid move after another, and now they're trading away. I mean, I guess they're looking to burn the whole thing down, strip it down to bare bones, and try to develop something from the draft.
They need to get rid of their offensive coordinator because they're literally running a low level, like a Tennessee Martin offense. They're running like a counter plays, and then they're running this little slant play, and that's it. And they reverse it and do the same thing. It's just, if I could sit here and watch it, not knowing what I'm talking about and can see it, surely to God, these defensive minds can do it.
Oh, there's the quarterback on your screen right there.
Yeah, get your makeup pencil out and pencil in that beard, just like Baker. Beard like Baker.
I don't have much more to say about the Carolina Panthers.
It looked good for the 49ers, right?
They're going to be one of the most
that end of this trade.
Well, think about this. They have Kyle Shanahan turns all these running backs into superstars. Like he had JaMychal Hasty, Jeff Wilson. The list goes on and on. Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman. Over the years,
Elijah Mitchell.
Yes, I mean all these guys. They turned them into something. Imagine that he actually has a guy now. I am really excited about watching where this goes. I think it's going to be fascinating, and it really helps my pick for the 49ers winning that division, making this trade.
And I think that without Jimmy G, they would not win the division.
Oh, okay.
Parker picked it based on Trey Lance, and
we just don't know. I never got to see him.
Oh, we've seen enough.
Let me tell you guys. They're
missing the text thread.
Are missing a lot of context here. If we could ever get the dadgum Patreon page up, you would pay money to see these two go head to head on a discussion about motherfucking Trey Lance.
It's not just Trey Lance. We talk about other players too. Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically Mahomes.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes making rookie-like mistakes.
It's the same person, right?
Same play.
Exact same thing.
Same boneheaded mistake.
So it's the same thing.
Same.
The same thing.
But we're off topic. Let's bring it back home
Let's
to the
bring it back
Tennessee
in.
Titans. Parker told you so. He gave you a whole podcast series about this.
Seriously, I remember doing this. What was it, 6 or 8 months
it was
ago?
like a year ago.
Or however long it was. I remember us doing a live stream
Parker
about this
told
very
you.
thing. We broke down all these details.
And Parker told you why it would happen.
I mean, guys, I'll put the link up here. Well, it's over Parker's head.
Yeah,
It's wherever Parker's head is. It's over there. Over Parker's head. I'm going to put the link up there for you guys to go back and watch this. We have beat this dead horse so much, Parker. It looks like we nailed it.
It did. And, the alert was coming out, the breaking news. Like, we've been talking about this for months. Like, it's a done deal. Like, I didn't even care because it was the cool thing that came out of it. I even texted y'all. I was like, I only really care about the Grove tailgating area because everything else we knew, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we didn't know that the dome was going to be. It's a baby SoFi, right? It's got the glass ceilings. It's got the open up the sides. But like the money, we kind of knew what it was going to do. So it's interesting. It's fun. It's awesome. I actually think the bigger story, people go out and read about the whole East Bank. We could do a 5-hour podcast on this whole redevelopment they're doing because it's much, much more than the stadium. It's going to change the face of Nashville. But how they're paying for it, about half of it's going to be for Titans. It's got to be approved through Metro Council. About half of it's going to be through Titans, NFL, PSLs. A little bit more, $500 million through state funding for putting a dome in, and then another part where they are going to get 100% of all in stadium and 50% of stadium campus sales tax. Like a tourist development zone or something. And then they're going to do.
It seems like I might have heard something. I might need to timestamp that right there. Okay.
And then
727, huh?
And then a 1% jump at hotel taxes for tourists.
Come see us. Come see us.
All this sounds like something I've heard before.
Come see
I'm not
music.
real sure where.
Let's go.
So it's going to be.
Sure where.
There'll be some changes through council. It'll be a bit of a fight, but it's 100% going to go through.
That's where I heard it right there. DDS Sportstalk. Those guys right there.
I mean, who are we? Just a bunch of jabronis, I guess.
I don't know, but hey. If you see old Newberry over here looking over here to his left, he's got himself a prop bet.
Nah, it's at halftime,
he's looking,
ladies and gentlemen.
He's looking. But hey,
halftime.
We're about to talk about some more bets here, aren't we?
Yeah, it's time for our weekly college pick six. We're bringing you, ladies and gentlemen, 5 picks this week. Because we have UT is playing, but we're not going to talk about it. We're not talking about UT Martin.
No.
I'm not going to do it.
No.
We're not going to pick that game. The Florida Gators are off this week. So we're going to bring you our B1G.
Yep.
ACC.
Yep.
2 best bets.
Get them 2 for 1.
And we're going to find them dogs. So we're going to go to the B1G. We got Minnesota, my team, in the B1G at Penn State. Can Penn State wake back up here after the beatdown?
I think so. I think that I think bounce back is going to be a real thing here. I think the red ass effect is a real thing. I think James Franklin's going to be cracking some heads in practice this week. Yeah, I've got the Nittany Lions easily going over this 4.5.
Not only is this the Minnesota at Penn State, this is the annual whiteout game.
Yep.
And I don't know that means much because right now they're 9-8 all time when it comes to that whiteout game there, Bradley.
This is a no-brainer for me. I'm taking the points, and I'm taking Minnesota.
You picked them to win.
I mean, I think that they're going to win their division for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just another check mark game. Go into Penn State and win it straight up, but I'll gladly take the 4.5.
Yep.
Michigan's O-line dominated Penn State, and that's what we wanted to see last week. And Minnesota isn't that dominant, but it's what they want to do. Minnesota is a top 20 rushing team. Penn State is outside the top 55 in rushing defense. Minnesota's top running back is going to be back. I don't know who's playing at quarterback for either team. I hope Clifford plays for Penn State because he will throw picks. Give me Minnesota and the points because they are going to win this game.
Whoa,
Nice.
straight up win.
Nice.
We're going to go to the ACC. And one of Blake's surprise teams, surprise, Syracuse at Clemson. A battle of undefeated teams here.
Did not think that we were going to be saying that when it came to Syracuse.
Parker, is it time? Cinderella's time is up. Syracuse goes down in a big way, right?
We've had this. We know when to get off the bandwagon, when to get on it. And I'm telling you right now, guys, get off the bandwagon and jump on the real bandwagon at Death Valley, because listen to these wins. Syracuse beat a bad Purdue team. Purdue also threw for over 400 yards in that game. They beat NC State without their quarterback. They played one game away from home, and that was against the football powerhouse of UConn. They haven't played in a hostile environment all year, and say what you want to about Clemson, but it is a hostile environment, and they are going for an ACC record 38 wins at home. Strength of schedule for Syracuse is outside top 100. Clemson is going to run it down their throat. Double the freaking spread. I don't care. Clemson rolls.
I don't think that Syracuse is going to win, but I think that I'll take those 14 points. I do. I think they'll fight, but no chance of winning, in my opinion.
It's time.
I hope they do.
It's time for Clemson's defense to step up even more. We thought that they were better than the Georgia defense of last year, so it's time to show it, man. I'm going 38-12.
Okay.
Clemson.
You know, if they don't cover, I hope they just straight up win. Like, I mean, if Clemson,
just lose if you can't cover.
Exactly, because that's going to make chaos, and chaos reigns supreme.
I love
All
chaos.
Right. We got 2 rounds of best bets where we can pick anything we want because we said so. We'll see if there's a good chance that we might double up here. We haven't discussed picks before coming on. I'm going to start going out west. I'm going to look at and ride with the 6-0 UCLA squad. They are looking for national respect. So they've got to go in to Oregon. Chip Kelly back at his former employer. And I get 6 points. Give me UCLA +6.
You know, it's one of the few I didn't break down. Before you jumped on here, I told Blake, I was like, man, I was sitting here looking, I had 4 best bets on here. I got to pick 2 of them. But I'd stayed away from that one because, you know, I like to look at football schools.
Uh-huh.
So I've been on TCU for weeks. But fellas, we're talking about jumping off the bandwagon, and it's time. Go back and look. They played their rival SMU. Then they played 3 ranked teams. This will be their 4th top 25 game in a row. In their previous 3 games, the opposing quarterback either didn't play or got knocked out of the game. TCU depends on the pass. Kansas State on the run. There could be 20-mile-per-hour wind in this game, which hurts the passing team. Kansas State +4.5. I almost made this my underdog win pick.
All right. Kansas State +4.5. All right.
You have what's your first best bet?
My first one, I'm staying in the SEC. I'm looking at the Ole Miss LSU game, really tight game. Right now LSU's sitting at -1. I like that. I think Jaden Daniels is trending in the right direction. I have concerns about Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. I think this is going to be a very competitive game, but as far as 1 point deciding it, no. I think this is going to be a 3-point game.
All right.
I love it because LSU has faced 3 teams inside the top 20. Ole Miss has faced nothing, 0. I think Ole Miss wins 1 more game for the rest of the year.
I think we kind of
I think we did
call that out. Go back to our
1448
SEC West prediction show.
Didn't we say they might start 6 or 7-0?
6-0, and then maybe nothing after that.
Mm-hmm.
Parker says it starts. And guess what else is starting? The second half of the Chicago Bulls game.
Yep. If y'all hear a couple bombs in a row, that's the prop bet alert.
You know you got problems when you're watching NBA in October.
NBA on my FanDuel app.
All you degenerate gamblers out there that are gambling along with us, You tell us what your favorite prop bet is for this weekend. Any sport.
Next best bet. I'm going with another underdog, fellas. This is a home underdog getting 6.5 points here. Give me Oklahoma State, just because the points they entice me. I'm biting.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a kind of a theme as I did with the Syracuse, where they haven't played anywhere. Well, I'm going to go to ECU versus UCF. Is the first time University of Central Florida has been out of Florida this year, and it's almost November. ECU is good against the run, and UCF has a running quarterback. I think it's as simple as that. Give me ECU in the +5. But again, every one of these games we've talked about, I really think the underdog could win.
I'm looking at one of the worst games that's going to be played this weekend with Vandy and Missouri.
Whoa.
I'm looking at the under, and I am taking that 49.5 under.
I wanted you to take Vandy.
Oh, he couldn't pull the trigger.
I think they will win, but
we still have a chance for him to take Vandy because now it's time to pick the underdog that will win outright. Do you want to reveal?
It is not Vandy.
Oh,
it is not Vandy.
Dang.
It is instead one of the other terrible teams in the SEC East.
It's not Florida. They're not playing.
The Cock Commanders of South Carolina, I think, are going to take down the fraudulent Texas A&M Aggies who are trying to come into Columbia and steal a win. So,
wait, I've got to follow you on that one.
Okay.
Because mine written down here is, this is the week Jimbo Fisher loses his job.
Whoa, no.
Because South Carolina is going to beat this Texas A&M team, and I don't know why Texas A&M is favored. I have no idea. Their season is over. They're done. They don't care. I don't know who's playing quarterback for them. The South Carolina team is just better. They're just absolutely better, and they should be favored.
Spencer freaking Rattler.
I get concerned when you two predict firings because guess what? It happens. It's happened.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
Look out, folks. I'm going to go with a team that had a little back and forth with somebody on the YouTube chat.
Oh boy.
I'm actually backing your sorry team this week in my underdog picks. I'm going with the 5-2 Purdue Boilermakers to win at the 3-4 Wisconsin Badgers. I wrote down the wrong team is favored here. Purdue wins outright.
Okay.
I'm down. I'm sitting here. That's one I didn't. I was trying to pull up some things about that one while we were talking.
Golly.
Wrong team favored.
A lot of wrong teams favored in college this week.
There are some really interesting things out there this week. I mean, just to throw on a freebie, this is not official, but just because it was so fun, because I wanted to do this because Old Dominion pulled off a crazy upset for me last week. Old Dominion, Georgia Southern, both of these teams are like the worst teams in the country at defense. Over under 71, but they could score 100.
Jeez. Newberry's looking at that prop bet. He's waiting on the prop bet.
Glimpsing down. I think we're ready to transition to
who did you pick now? I'm sorry. Who did you pick, Parker?
So I picked South Carolina to beat A&M.
Right.
Kansas State plus 4.5. Yep. ECU plus 5.
Got it. All right.
We're going to the men, the ones that, well, I guess the college they get paid too nowadays. Yep. But
before we go ahead and hit like and subscribe down there. Hit like and subscribe. Hit the comments section. Tell us what you think about the college picks down there.
Why not? It's time for the NFL Pick 6. We're starting with the Indianapolis Colts, and the poor Jaguars are giving the Colts some momentum here heading into Tennessee this week. Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite as we sit here tonight. I wrote down, man, the Titans are very, very good under Vrabel coming off the bye. Parker, give us more.
Please
coming off a bye or a mini bye where they play a Thursday night game in season, they're 8-0 against the spread under Vrabel. So, I mean, there's good. Titans have won 4 in a row against the Colts. That's the longest streak in the history of the franchise. This is kind of an odd thing for me. It's only week 7, but after Sunday, the Colts will have played 5 of their 6 divisional games.
Really?
Yeah, they tied against Houston. They played
Jacksonville twice.
Wow.
And this will be the second game against the Titans.
Yep. Second one.
Wow.
That
kind of makes
really
this
weird.
game pretty important. I would say.
Yes. I mean, I saw a stat, and I'm going to probably misquote this, but if the Titans win, they have like a 70% chance to make a playoffs, and the Colts have like a 20%. If it happens the other way, it pretty much flips.
I hate it that the Jags just didn't put the nail in the Colts season, man.
They had the chance.
They really did, dude. I wrote
They
down,
shit the bed. Let's just say it. They shit the bed.
Their defense did, for sure.
Their defense is part of they.
That's true. I wrote down, did Indy find the right game plan for old man Ryan? I mean, he's getting the ball out in less than 1.8 seconds, the quick passing game.
I mean, I literally have it written down. For the Colts to win, they need to chuck it around the yard. It's how you beat the Titans, and they ran a bazillion slants against the Jags. It's how they got it out so fast. It might be the cure for them. I don't know. And you're right, the Jags should have won that game. It's 10 minutes into the game, and it was kind of in a weird spot where I was at a sports bar watching all the games. I was like, oh, thank God, at least I could just follow this one on stats. I don't have to really watch it because it's over. And God,
14-3 early.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting game plan. I don't necessarily know that it's going to be super successful, but it may be. I still doubt Matt Ryan's ability to protect the ball in general. One game does not make a successful a successful season for a quarterback, for sure. And the other thing that everybody has to keep in mind is the Titans' secret weapon when it comes to these little quick passes. It's the big Pop-Tart in the middle. Tierre Tart, the softest hands in the freaking league.
That guy puts his hands up, at worst, it gets tipped, and your linebackers
he's 4.5 feet wide. He's 7 feet tall. And whenever he puts those big mitts up, it's like trying to throw it over a freaking house. And he'll catch it if he knocks it up in the air. My man Pop-Tart's going to make a big impact on this game. I'm telling you, we're still going to get pressure on Ryan. And if you do, he cannot hold on to the ball and he cannot move. I've got the Titans in this game.
Blake just said a few things that I wanted to make a point on that absolutely it's like you read my notes. Everyone seems to think Quentin Nelson can walk on water for this O-line for the Ponies. Well,
Not this year. Nope.
No. I listened to a local beat reporter to talk about Autry when he was in Indy. He said he never saw Nelson struggle more in practice than against anyone other than Autry. And the numbers don't lie. In 2021, Autry had 12 quarterback pressures in 2 games against the Colts. This year, in 1 game against the Colts, 2 sacks, 5 pressures, and a forced fumble. And on top of that, other than our boy Tart, they have another guy named Big Jeff.
Yep.
Matt Ryan. Yeah, you might have. Just like you were talking about turnovers, Matt Ryan leads the NFL in interceptions and turnover-worthy plays when pressured. And even with 1 less game, is top 3 the Titans are top 3 interior defenders in total pressures. So it's just you get pressure on the guy, and he absolutely can fold. According to PFF, Titans have the 4th best pass rush in the league, and we didn't even have Bud Dupree last week. Indy has the 25th rated O-line. And I got in an argument on Twitter with a guy. They said, do you trust Tannehill and Henry, or do you trust Ryan and Taylor more? And the guy's like, well, I trust Matt Ryan and Jonathan Taylor. And I just asked him why.
Matt Ryan.
I just said, well, why? Matt Ryan has 2 big-time throws on the season. Tannehill has 4 and has played in 1 less game. Matt Ryan has 12 turnover-worthy plays. Tannehill has 4. Tannehill throws the ball further down the field on average. Tannehill has a higher completion percentage when you adjust for drops. The last time we saw freaking Taylor, he went 20 for 42. And in the same game, Henry went for 22 of 118. So this game, I really do think is in the trenches, just like Blake was saying. If the Titans can get to him, this game is over. If they can stop the Titans from getting to him, they can absolutely win this game. And I guess that probably gets me to say I'm going to take the Titans at 2.5.
my only hope is that the Jags didn't give them that momentum, man. Matt Ryan, 42 of 58. 389 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks.
And that last throw on top of that, like I'm sitting there going, hey, at least we're getting the cover on the pick.
I know, man. Come on.
They may have something in Alec Pierce, though. He looks good.
I'm going like this whole week. I was thinking Tennessee by 3. Tennessee 23-20, 24-21.
I was too.
And with this line being 2.5, I'm going Titans. That's as simple as that. Titans win by 3.
Yep. At 3, I had Indy written down. And I changed it.
I was going to say Titans win, but don't cover is exactly what I was going to say. I think it's going to be closer than
well, that's kind of been the theme of the Titans year, right? Win, but don't cover.
That's all right. You win the game, man.
I don't care.
New York Giants making a visit to Duval time. Giants at Jacksonville. The world is looking at this spread saying, what the hell? Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars are a 3-point favorite. Blake, reaction time.
Wrong team favored.
Parker?
It's as simple as that for me. I mean, I'm looking at a Jaguars team that is still struggling, in my mind, to have an identity. So,
I don't think the Giants are that good, but what do you think, Parker?
Giants are terrible. In fact, you look at
yes, they are.
If you look at the look ahead line next week, they play Seattle. Guess who's favored in that game? Seattle. Yeah.
Are they fraudulent?
But
fraudulent 5-1.
On the road, they're not fraudulent because when Daniel Jones is on the road, he's not good at home, but when he is on the road, just as the Titans, he is 21-4 as an underdog.
Wow.
It's just one of those stats.
Number. That's a heck of a stat.
That follows it around. And in this game, Bradley, you tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I think much like the Titans game, much like a lot of these games, it comes down to what's going to happen on the offensive line and defensive line because Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator for the Giants, does one thing. He blitzes. It's a league-leading 43% of the time. If that blitz creates pressure, it is not good for young Trevor. He is 29th in the league with passing completion percentage under pressure with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. However, if the Jags pick up that pressure, this stat changes. The Jags O-line is actually ranked 3rd when it comes to pass blocking. They're pretty good. It's strength on strength. If he's left clean, that goes up to 12th. So this, again, is just like kind of my thing with Matt Ryan. If they can keep Matt Ryan clean, Indy probably wins. If they can keep Trevor clean, Jags probably win.
Trevor Lawrence last week was 20 of 22. He accounted for 3 touchdowns. He led them on a 4th quarter drive that should have been a comeback victory. I'm seeing the progression. The running game last week, Blake, had 243 yards and a loss. That's unthinkable.
I don't know how you do that.
The Jags D hit Matt Ryan 6 times. I predicted 6 sacks. 0 sacks. You got to bring the quarterback down, man. I need the defense to step up this week. You have to stop. You can't stop him, but you have to contain Barkley. You can't let Daniel Jones run for a critical first down on 3rd and 16. You know, the C's part, and there he goes, the big goofy white guy running up the sideline there. Contain. The formula is, I got a math formula. Contain Barkley plus no turnovers equals a victory. I'm going Jacksonville 24-13. I just don't think the Giants are that good.
I don't either. But I'm sitting here seeing something real quick. But I will say some of those, we could debate this another time, but some of those Lawrence stats last week, he had a 4-yard average depth of targets. They weren't attempting anything. You got to throw the ball downfield, man. I just don't understand why they're doing so short, little tiny passes. That's a whole different thing. And you're right. Saquon's back. Giants are top 10 in rushing efficiency. Jags aren't terrible, but they're not great. They're like ranked 17th. Oh my God, Fadakasi? Is he playing?
That's been a big deal, man. He's been out. That's hurt their defensive line up the middle.
He's the run stuffer. I mean, if he's not out, that's going to be big. And it's just too many points, man. Whoever in this game is getting 3, I'm taking them. So give me Giants in 3.
All right. We're going to go. Let's go out west. Seattle, so Parker can talk about his favorite quarterback out west. Seattle at The Chargers -5 or so. The Chargers have won 6 straight games since getting that ass whipped by the Jags. The Jags woke up another team.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh God. I mean, what do you see in this one? Does it look like an offensive game?
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust either defense.
Well, I don't either. Chargers are beat up, but I'm going to go ahead and say my Chargers this is a Super Bowl pick for this team. They're 4-2. They should be 2-4. Their play calling might be the worst in the league for the talent they have at quarterback.
Coach.
I mean, it's so bad. They're like, all right, let's run it up the middle. Let's do this like 3-yard behind screen play. And then, Justin Herbert, it's 3rd and 12. You need to bail us out. And he does a lot because he's got the strongest arm in the league. If they just put him in a little bit better position, it's absolutely horrible. But you're right. It's going to be offensive. And what it's going to be, it's going to be the Ken Walker game. It's going to be Seattle. Last week was the first game as the man for Seattle. He forced 12 missed tackles and ran for 75 yards after first contact. That was more than anybody in the league.
Nice. You got any initial thoughts? A pick? Don't really care about this game?
I don't feel extremely strong about anything, but 5 points seems like a lot for me. I'm going Seattle.
Yeah. Chargers play man coverage. Seattle is top 2 against man coverage. Metcalf and Lockett are going to eat. Chargers have won 1 game by more than 5 points. There is no way in this world I'm taking the Chargers. Give me Seattle on the points.
I'm leaning Seattle just for fantasy purposes. I want the rookie running back Kenneth Walker III to have a day. It seems like a defense that he should be able to take advantage of here. Last week, 97 yards and a touchdown. Give me Seattle +5.
It's something else I just remember, too, to keep in your back pocket, like Daniel Jones away. Chargers at home don't usually cover because you get a couple of points depending on where it is if you're at home. Chargers don't have a home field advantage.
No.
It's so that you're getting an extra
in there.
Yeah, you're getting an extra point or two for no reason on the other team.
Yeah.
They should have stayed. I wish they would have stayed in San Diego.
I do too, man.
I do too. I just love San Diego. I think San Diego is a great place.
Sunday night football, we've got a matchup of the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off their win against Tua's back, the Miami Dolphins. If you want the home team, you have to lay 7.5 points. What do you think about Kenny Pickett versus Tua, Parker?
Well, at least it's in the warm weather. But finish this sentence. You're going to be able to do this because I'm telling you right now, it ain't Kenny Pickett. Starting with number 5 and going up, here are the quarterbacks QBR. 5, Lamar. 4, Geno Smith. 3, Mahomes. 2, Josh Allen. And number 1, Tua Tagovailoa is the number 1 in the league. He missed the last 2 games. He has the same amount of passing touchdowns as Tom Brady.
Wow. Blake, is just the casual fan going to be watching this game because of football? Or are they going to be watching to see if Tua gets hit and is his brain going to get scrambled again?
Well, I think the short answer to your question is they're watching this to make sure Tua is going to be okay. Presumably, he had concussions on back-to-back weeks. I think we can all accept that at this point. So now we know that his eggs were scrambled 2 weeks in a row. Is the egg going to be cracked again? I really hope for his sake that he's coming back and he is okay. There's been a lot of speculation and a lot of parsing of words in the media that the NFL and the NFLPA and all the medical associations associated with the NFLPA have made adjustments to all these things. I really hope Tua is okay. I think he will be. I think he's got enough weapons around him that he'll come back and he'll be able to have a really good game. I'm going Miami here. I think he's going to have a little statement game coming back.
I don't know we got Tua coming back. We got Brian Flores coming back to Miami. A little juicy storyline there. I don't know what to think of this Pittsburgh and Kenny Pickett thing.
You know what's funny, Bradley? You're saying
I'm struggling.
With him coming back to Miami, there's another one. There's a opposite revenge factor, and that's Tua against Flores because Flores did not want him.
Oh,
There's reporting out there that Tua had so many PED tests because Flores wanted him to get tested so much, so maybe he would fail something, he wouldn't have to be his quarterback.
Yikes! Wow.
That's a really strange
What a
story.
lightning rod. My God.
Golly. Why does everybody hate Tua? He's
Don't
like
know.
a really nice guy.
Oh my God.
Golly.
Pickett's going to throw. To answer your answer about
Man.
Pickett, he's throwing picks. If there's something out there to take him with
Pick,
3
pick.
interceptions, pick. The Pitt team is hurt. They had an emotional game last week. When we were talking about jumping off the bandwagon, we'll jump off because what happened last week isn't going to happen again. Last week, the Steelers won their first game without TJ Watt since drafting him. Not going to happen again. This feels like an absolute 35-10 game.
Jay.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
I agree with Parker. I think the Miami Dolphins win this game, but the 7.5 is too juicy for me, gentlemen. I'm going 27-20 Miami. And Tyreek Hill scores all the touchdowns.
Dude, he is going to, with all their secondary out.
Receiver, right? Yardage wise.
Yes. Dude, if you take out, there's 2 games. You take out the game against the Buffalo where everybody was winded. It was really hot. They only ran 45 plays, if you remember that. And you take out the game where Bridgewater got knocked out and Skylar Thompson came in. You take all the other games, you average them up. Tyreek Hill was on pace for 2,400 receiving yards. It's pretty good.
Good. Yeah. Golly. That's a lot. That's all you can really say about that.
Best bet time. Look, we might as well call him Prop Parker. He might be bringing us another NFL prop this week. Let's see. I'll start. Look, what do I have here? I got one team. One team in the NFL this year is a perfect 6-0 against the spread. I'm looking at the Atlanta Falcons.
Dirty Birds.
I looked at that.
They make a trip to Cincinnati. I don't know because I haven't watched. I don't know if the Falcons defensive line is good, but does it matter? Because we know the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line is suspect.
Wait. The Bengals or
Yes.
the Bungles?
Oh, I'm calling them the Bengals. They're winning some games right now. But I wrote this stat down. The Falcons are 27th in total D, 31st against the pass. Joe Burrow and the passing game lights up the scoreboard. I'm going the other way. I'm going Cincinnati -6.5.
Okay.
I think you're right. Not only is there Atlanta's passing defense that bad, they're also missing some of their starters in the secondary. But I will come back on you on that. They're winning some games. Yeah, but it took a Jamar Chase break off a 70-yarder and Saints forget how to tackle to win that game. Jesus. Unbelievable. You guys would like a prop or would you like – I may have 3 down here. Would you like a prop or a game?
Whatever Nostra Parker says.
All right. We're going to go with a prop then. And we are going to head to Vegas. And we are going to go visit our Raiders. And this is going to be Josh Jacobs. His receiving prop right now is at 15.5 yards. Take the over. Darren Waller is not playing. Jacobs has gone over this 4 of the last 5 games. And he has gone over 30. He has doubled this in the last 3 games. This is an absolute smash. I feel like I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah. All right. So you're saying Jacobs
Over 15.5 receiving yards.
plus 15 rec yards. Got it. Well, I'm glad you picked that because I'm going to stay out there in Vegas.
Okay. Listen up, newbie.
Yep. This is for you, newbie. This -7. Houston's terrible. Go ahead. Take the 7. They got it.
Mm-hmm. Houston coming off the bye with the great coaching of Lovie Smith. The great quarterback play of Davis Mills.
The great Loveland Smith.
I mean, the only player they got is their running back from Florida, Parker.
Yeah, he's looking really good. Looks like the real deal. I mean, just give it to him over and over again, right? I mean,
I guess they're going to win just enough to not be in the top 5 in the draft.
I hope so. I absolutely hope so.
Dog time. I mean, this one's tough.
I don't feel strongly about any of these games.
I was looking around, I'm thinking, boy, Parker and Blake are both going to double dip and take the Giants.
I thought about it.
Which you can do.
Yeah.
It's in the rules.
It's in the rules.
I'm going to pick on the Melton household.
Yeah.
And
he gave it a peek. He had to look at his phone.
It said 1 for 1 a free throw.
Oh.
Picking on the Melton household, I'm looking at the Detroit Lions. I think this could be a little sleepy spot for Dallas. Oh, actually, Dak is back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dak is back. I think he's back too early, is what I want to say. And who was it, Parker, that I can reference this to? It was someone came back. It was Russell Wilson, I believe, had a similar procedure with his hand or a thumb
last year.
He came back early and looked horrible in the first 2 or 3 weeks that he played. I think the Cowboys struggle here. Detroit wins by a field goal. Give me Detroit as my underdog.
I mean, even if he was healthy, we saw him for one game healthy, and they put up 3 points while he was in.
Fair enough. Again, I don't feel very strongly about many of these games. I mean, I'm going very boring here. I'm looking at KC at the 49ers right now. Looks like KC's favored by 1.5. I'm going 49ers here. I think
you might get some CMC.
Yeah, well, I know with this news, it's like, why not?
I didn't know if it was too late in the week for him to.
He was suited up and at practice today.
All right.
He was reading the freaking playbook on the plane ride.
He don't need much. It's
on
right. It's a running
exactly.
Back.
Yeah, it's a running back. Exactly. Or wide receiver gets traded. Hey, run out and do
just
a
run the
out
ball.
Whatever.
Chip block, turn around, catch the ball.
Christian McCaffrey, just run out in the flat. I'll throw it to you.
He's a pro, man. He don't need much time.
So I did have Bradley. You're right. I had the Giants written down initially, and I love a lot of the dogs to cover. But this isn't going to be like last Sunday. Last Sunday, of the 6 dogs that covered, they straight up won, and all of them, all 6 of them, and the 2 best, honestly, are probably in our division. It's probably Indy and it's probably Giants. But I am on the fly going to change this to a team that has just upgraded at quarterback and a team that has recently upgraded at running back, and they are playing an awful team that can't beat anybody. Give me the Washington Commandos over the Green Bay Packers without Christian Watson, without all these guys. They're favored by 5.5 or whatever. Green Bay just lost to the Jets, y'all. This is going into Washington. And they've got Tyler Heineke, who is better than Wentz. I don't care what anybody says. They've got Brian Robinson, who's running with a purpose after being shot. Give me the Washington football team, as it should be.
Wow, what an owner. What a piece of trash.
Jeez. The Commandos. Why couldn't they be the Commandos instead of the Commanders? I'm sorry. Got off topic there. Guys?
I do have one more thing.
Go for it.
I spent too much time. I want to give another off the record bet here just because I did too much research and I want to go to waste.
Do it.
My best bet, if we weren't going to do a prop, was going to be Denver to cover and beat
Jets.
The Jets. And I don't care if it's Russell Wilson or his backup, Brett Ripken, playing at quarterback. This is about the Jets. The Jets wins. I know they're 4-2. They beat Jacoby Brissett by 1 and had to score 2 touchdowns in the last minute and 22 seconds. They beat the Steelers when the starter got knocked out and had to score 2 touchdowns late in the 4th. They beat Miami when their quarterback got knocked out and were up in the 4th by 19-17. Then they beat the Packers, and let me read you the box score of how they beat the Packers. Field goal. Bluff counter run reverse to Braxton Berrios to run it in. Blocked punt touchdown. Breece Hall breaks off a 40-yarder for a touchdown. That's how they scored. They didn't do anything on offense. They went 1 of 11 on 3rd down and had 99 yards passing. Yes, they're moving in the right direction, but this Jets team might be the most fraudulent 4-2 team ever. I don't know. If the Jets and the Giants played each other today, what would the final score be, right? 9-6? I don't know. I just
wow.
Breece Hall will not have success in this game. Denver has an elite defense, and Zach Wilson is worse than his 37-year-old backup. This is just going to be Denver all day.
Whoa, we
harsh
have
words.
come down hard on both New York teams.
Whiz. A lot of New York hate going on here.
Whoops.
Well, guys, that was a show. Really appreciate you guys joining us tonight on our weekly show here. Go ahead on your way out, hit the like and subscribe button, share this with all your friends. Follow us on all of our social media on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Titty Twister, TikTok, Twitter at DDS Sports Talk. Everybody get all that? You can download the audio versions of all these podcasts on your favorite podcasting platform. Gentlemen, final thoughts.
There's a group of fans out there that want to trade for a jet receiver for the Titans out there. There used to be an Ole Miss guy. I'm just going to tell you right now, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen because Titans just dealt with one diva receiver. They're not going to go after another one.
Okay.
My final thought is headed to the fourth quarter. My prop bet, he has not made a 3-point shot yet. I've got quite a bit of dollars on this one. Daddy needs new shoes. Daddy ain't going to have shoes if I lose this bet. I might not have a bed to sleep in if someone finds out about this. But
I want to see if he's even attempted
I think he's 0 for 1. Mr. DeRozan for the Bulls. Come on, DeRozan.
He haven't even
Your team is behind in the fourth. They need you to step up. Let's go.
Well, my final thought is tonight is the 20th class reunion for the class of 2002 Oakland High School Patriots. Not able to make it there tonight. But if any of you are catching this, who run it? The class of 2002. That's who. Two-tone blue all the way. You guys be well.